Rupali, Prathamesh and Satyam. Four of the candidates are here. Rajesh. Okay, Vikram, I think I can start because already 5 minutes, 6 minutes past 7. I also don't have unlimited time, and these candidates also may have to prepare further, and maybe they have other classes as well. So, two things. First of all, I would request those candidates who are not in the library or not engaged otherwise, I'll speak their names, let them switch on their cameras and very briefly, maybe in 2-3 crisp sentences, tell me about themselves, especially the optional which they are taking, and maybe their expectations from the examination, and of course whether this is their first attempt or have they appeared in mains earlier also. Those of you who can do it, those who are not in a secluded place like a library, just to get to know you better. So Shailesh, we can start with you. I have already seen your face on the camera. Please come on again. Mike, please.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. My optional is anthropology, sir. Yes, I came from a medical background. That's why I chose anthropology. And this is my first attempt.
First attempt. All right. Then Rupali is in library. Prathamesh. Rajesh is also in library. Prathamesh, can you join through your video? Prathamesh. Prathamesh, can you hear me? Okay, come on, Nikhil. Nikhil, yourself, please. Please join on your video, Nikhil. Yes. Okay, all right. Your option is geology and second means fine. Okay. So if it is possible for Rupali and Rajesh, they may also indicate their, the attempts, number of attempts if they have already taken and their optionals. They can send messages. Rupali and Rajesh. Prathamesh, are you there? Prathamesh, are you connected? Mr. Prathamesh. Okay, Nikhil has agricultural engineering, forestry for forest and okay. Right. I got it. So, all right. I don't think there is any need to spend more time on this introduction because almost half of you are in the libraries or some other places. So, of course, the number of students, the number of candidates here is quite a bit less than what I would like to have. 5-6 of you are here. And any one of you who is not able to hear me properly or understand me or follow my language, just please raise your hand so that we can make it more productive and helpful to each one of you. See, these 30, 35 minutes, 40 minutes which I would like to spend here with you, they are basically meant to be kind of an ice-breaking session for this small batch of candidates of YTF and myself, trying to establish a two-way communication from my side, my ideas, communicating them to you, as well as hearing out what you have to say as regards your civil services mains preparation. You all must have seen that the title, the topic which I have mentioned for today's session was a bit provocative, that what exactly the UPSC expects from you in this examination, and trying to make it participative this session, trying to make the session more participative, as I always want to do, I would like any one of you to give a very brief answer to this, that what is the expectation of UPSC from this mains examination? Kailesh, because you are the only person whom I could, access both through video and audio. What is the expectation of you? What does the UPSC want?
Sir, I am fresher, so I have a little bit less knowledge about the expectation. But sir, I noticed that they want the how analytical depth of your study and also the multidimensionality in answer, like in GS. And
okay, that's very good answer. Multidimensionality is a kind of good word to use here in the context of civil services means. Let me have one more view, please. Any of you can raise the hands and answer this question rather than my taking names. Those of you who are free to speak your mics, not being in libraries or elsewhere. Nikhil, can you answer? Because I saw your video just a while back. Nikhil says UPSC through mains check the awareness about the social issues and our attitude towards. Okay, fine. So, friends, without further ado and without further guessworks, let me share my understanding of UPSC's intention behind the examination. What UPSC wants, and very obviously so, is to draw out the hidden civil servant within you. Right? This examination which you are going to appear in is absolutely different from any other examination you had ever taken or would take in future. As we all know that in whatever exam, right from class, pre-primary, primary, secondary classes, your graduation, PG and everything, as we all know that your knowledge is tested at every level through examinations, and your memory plays a very significant role in any such examination. And of course, for a candidate of civil services mains also, memory is a huge asset, no doubts about that. But, and it's a big but, UPSC demands analytical depth, balanced viewpoints, clear expression. Very good. Very succinctly summarized. I will come back to whatever Ganesh just now said as I proceed further. I will come back to some of those points. Ganesh, yeah. So, as I was saying, that memory is a huge asset. But in this examination, that is civil services mains, you need much more than mere cramming of facts. See, memorized facts are certainly going to beautify, they are going to adorn your answers. But facts alone can never constitute a good and marks fetching answer in a UPSC mains paper. So the question is that if it is not an issue of mere memorized facts and the reproduction of memorized facts, then what is it? As I said in the beginning itself, that UPSC wants to draw out, elicit that hidden civil servant which is lurking in each one of you. And in the process of examining through this mains, people generally think that your personality is tested in the interview. But even in the mains, and that is the point I want to hammer, that even in the mains, they are testing the multiple kind of essential qualities that make a good and successful civil servant. Now, the question is, that what are these qualities and how could we relate the practicality of writing mains answers with those qualities. So as Ganesh said, of course, the first such quality is being analytical and critical in your approach towards the problem at hand. The key feature of your answers, and because that is the key feature of the personality of a good public servant. What is the key feature? Having an analytical and critical attitudes at all times. What is called having a 360 degrees approach. वो जो बड़ी पुरानी कहानी है कि there was an elephant and 5 blind men, they touched the elephant from all sides, and somebody says it is a rope by touching the tail, somebody says it is a pillar by touching the leg of the elephant and all that. A good civil servant is expected to see the issues in a comprehensive and holistic manner, as if walking all around the elephant. And after that, the second quality comes in, that after having looked, after having inspected, after having evaluated the problem from all possible approaches, you also evaluate and look for various kinds of binaries. Abhilash, please. Abhilash Jaiswal, you have raised your hand. Abhilash Jaiswal has raised his hand. You want to say something, Abhilash? No. All right. So as I was saying that the second feature which comes in related to the first, related to the analytical and critical attitude towards problems, is the capability to look for various kinds of binaries. Now what are these binaries? Merits, demerits, advantages, disadvantages, feasibility, infeasibility, impact in future, medium-term future, long-term future, costly, cheap. So a civil servant, a successful civil servant always evaluates things in their binaries. And thirdly, again, which flows out of the second feature, is that a civil servant has the ability to compare and contrast the options. In your minds, you can correlate all these features with the writing of the answers in a mains question paper. Because whatever issue is there, whether that is GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4, even in your optionals, you are supposed to have an analytical, critical attitude. You are supposed to look at the binaries. You are supposed to compare and contrast all the available options. Then next comes another very important quality of a civil servant, is agreeing or disagreeing with option 1, option 2, option 3, whatever are there. And such agreement or disagreement has always to be supported, always has to be backed by firm reasons. So reasoning for either accepting a particular option or rejecting that option. So in a sense, what matters is answering and explaining the whys, why something is like this, or hows, how is something happening like this, rather than only what's. What is something? What ke bajaye why and how. These are the questions which interest a civil servant more. And that is precisely what the UPSC is looking for in your answers in the mains examination. And then next comes, ये सारी बातें सिर्फ academically नहीं है. A civil servant does not leave the things on a file or on a project evaluation only by just, analyzing various options and putting down his pen. No. A good civil servant is actually oriented towards identifying the most desirable outcome and also prescribing the most appropriate methodology to achieve that outcome. So that again becomes a very important feature of your answer writing skill, because you have to evaluate options, come to the most desirable one, satisfy yourself that you have got sufficient reasons, good reasons to support your arguments. Then in the process, if there are certain improvements to be suggested in the existing structures, because that again is a key task for a good civil servant. हर चीज जो बनी हुई है उसको तोड़ करके नया बनाने की बात किसी भी डिपार्टमेंट में सरकार के नहीं होती. हमेशा ये होता है कि भाई पहले कोशिश ये करो कि whatever is there on the ground, how it can be improved. So that has to be your approach towards any question or any problem which has been given to you, again, whether GS 1, 2, 3, 4, wherever. Some scheme of government is there, some kind of issue is there. What can be done to improve the situation without recommending a whole hog, kind of makeover. Then lastly, two other features which are not, अभी तक मैंने जितने features बताए, they were all sort of interrelated, right from 360 degree attitude and analytical attitude up to your selection of options. But there are two other key features which are not that directly related to the previous ones, but they are very important in their own right. One, what is called brevity and succinctness. Being brief, putting as many ideas or as much information as possible within as few words as you can. That is the hallmark of a successful public servant. That actually differentiates a civil servant from let us say, an academic or somebody who is a research scholar, because there you go for expanse. A civil servant, you know that he is oriented towards the depth, not that much of the expanse. So you have to be brief, and nothing can be more instrumental in exhibiting your brevity or your succinctness is in following the word limit of your answers. An answer of 150 words means an answer of 149 words. An answer of 250 words means an answer of 245 words. Not a single word beyond that. So that is the why they honor this word limit so much. Because as I said, one of the key requirements for a successful civil servant is being brief and yet covering all relevant, important, significant issues. And as I said, there are two things. Second is also very important, that while furnishing your views, अभी तक हमने बात किया contents की. There are always two aspects, contents and form. Contents माने कि आपने क्या उसके अंदर चीजें लिखी हुई हैं या क्या आप बताना चाह रहे हैं. Form is what? How you are presenting it. Now, presentation of ideas and views of a good civil servant is always made in a manner that catches the attention of anybody else very easily. So that is, to my mind, the last but not the least significant requirement for answer writing skills in civil services mains also. Ideas हैं, 360 degree approach भी है, analysis भी है, but the way you are presenting it, whether that is to the modalities of diagrams, tables, charts, bullet points, whatever, small figures, diagrams, but yes, whatever way you present your answer should catch the attention, catch the imagination rather of the examiner. He himself feels so enchanted. अच्छा ये देखो इसने इस तरह से किया हुआ है. So these 5, 6, 7 points which I shared with you in the last 15 minutes, they are nothing but the key features, some of the key features of a good civil servant. And as I said in the beginning, in my view, UPSC's sole expectation is to draw out that hidden civil servant from you. So that is why the mains answer writing skills have to incorporate all these aspects. I hope that I have been able to communicate, my views to you, because otherwise, yes, all of you must have gone through such, courses and advice. I mean, the advice is also कि भाई आंसर आपका वर्ड लिमिट इतनी होनी चाहिए, प्रेजेंटेशन में इस तरह से होना चाहिए, एनालिटिकल एबिलिटी. But please remember that all these are actually at the end of the day the features of a successful and good and effective, efficient civil servant as well. And that is what the UPSC want to do. So I concluded here by saying that the examination, as I said earlier, is absolutely different from whatever examinations you have taken earlier or whatever you will take in future. Your memorization of facts is definitely a key asset, but that has to be supplemented by all these aspects, all these things which we discussed just now. At this point, before I go to the second part of my presentation, if there are any questions, please raise your hands and come on. Anybody has any questions or any ideas or any views to share at this point of time? I see the name of Samruddhi. If you are not in the library or elsewhere, I mean, if you are free to talk, then you can please switch on your mic and let us know your views. Question regarding time management. Okay, I'll come to that, time management. Yes. What else? Samruddhi, can you hear me? See, you are in library, all right, so you can't talk. So, Avinash, Mr. Avinash. See, in the last so many years, I always, this is my first session with this lot, but I always want to make it my sessions highly participative, because it won't just work if I make it like, one way kind of situation. So please feel free to participate, and as several of you have done, if you are not free to talk, then you can at least send messages. Avinash is also like, most of you are in library, I believe. Okay. Anybody who is not in library, he has any questions or queries or views? I fall back again on Shailesh. If you are you okay with philosophical essay? Fine. Shailesh, yes, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Any observations so far? You must keep in mind. All of you are budding public servants. A civil servant, at least who is being selected through this grueling UPSC examination, he is never short of words. He or she is capable of expressing his opinion, again, briefly, to the point, analytical, at a drop of a hat. So you should not be caught like, if I ask something, then I expect an answer also. Yes. And the answer need not be only yes, sir, yes, everything is okay. After all, I know that whatever I say may give rise to lot many questions and doubts and contrarian views also. Anyway, so second part, as I said, will be more down to earth, in the sense that I will be discussing in the next 10-15 minutes what all are the nitty-gritties of your papers, and of course the issue of time management and other things. See, there is no point of my going through the structure and all that. You all are aware that as per the prevailing trend, what are the number of questions which are coming? 150 words into 10 questions and 250 words into 10 questions. 10 minutes. Roughly, if you do the time management, we'll come in detail later, but time management of question paper attempt, 10 minutes is the ideal time for a 150 words question, and 15 minutes is the ideal time for a 250 words question. if I'm not, yeah. So the papers as such, let me start with what appears to be the easiest, but very often neglected. Please do not take language papers lightly. I am aware of cases where very intelligent candidates, some of the very intelligent candidates, they flunked the examination because they could not clear the qualifying language paper. So that is something which is you must keep in mind. General English, of course, and the other language. Make sure that you are aware, your knowledge, your domain knowledge is of the required standard, and don't be overconfident for that. So that is about the language papers. Do not take them lightly, please. Essay. Essay is again something which is very often overlooked. And in my experience, it is the essay and then interview. These are the two things which decide your ranks finally. Because in GS 1, 2, 3, 4, and even in optionals, there is always a range. Here, I'm not discussing anything about the scaling or those aspects because it is not proper to discuss them here. But yes, it is a fact that there is a rather narrow range for all the 4 GS papers and optionals. Optionals especially because different kinds of options are there, humanities and social sciences and life sciences and all that. But essay is something in which marks vary very widely. So a 25 marks difference in essay question paper or 30 marks difference can decide not only your rank but even your selection or rejection in the examination. अगर आप लोग पहले से आज से हफ्ते में एक essay नहीं लिख रहे हैं तो at least you start writing from today. One essay of 1.5 hours in absolutely examination condition. Please start writing that from previous question papers, from other question papers which you can get hold of. You can send them for corrections to me also. But writing of essay from today itself in absolutely examination-like conditions is essential. Somebody, I think Ganesh, talked about philosophical essay. We can have a separate session on essay writing, but yes, there is the topics, 5-6 topics which are given, the options which are given, they contain different types of, the different varieties of streams. Philosophical is one of them. There are others also. There are international relations, political, and related to economy. So to begin with, each candidate knows fully well that what is your own area of expertise. So if you are finding yourself more conversant with economic issues, there is absolutely no point of you jumping to the option of the philosophical essay. Writing that is very difficult because for that you need knowledge of philosophy is not that much required in that, rather than your own worldview towards life and your ability to pepper your essay with not only good quotations but also with thoughts of various moral thinkers, various philosophers to either agree or disagree with the proposition. So that is something which perhaps you cannot do within the 1.5 hours of examination time. So essays which having some kind of philosophical content, philosophical theme, they have to be attempted only when you are very sure about your capability to write a good essay, or you have practiced that particular essay by any chance earlier. Otherwise, you go for economic. There are topics are available, as you are aware. There are options, multiple options are there. But practice is very, very essential. essay, one of these days we can have separate session, but then I don't need that session to be taken. All of you must have prepared already. You keep practicing, that's the key. Optional, again, each optional has its own story. Most of you, a majority of you, I am aware that you would have taken your option, that option which has not been your area of specialization, meaning thereby that you have done your masters in physics and you are taking sociology or anthropology as the optional. So please make sure that your knowledge of your optional is as good as that of a PG student of a reputed university. Syllabus of optional is of, from all accounts, it is of master's standard. Various kinds of nuances of your optional syllabus, they need a very firm grounding on your part, writing practice, a clear conceptual clarity about the various kinds of issues, and again some kind of selection. Selection means that okay, each and every part of your optional, and especially when it is not of your specialization, each and every part of your optional paper cannot be equally well prepared by you. So yes, in optional paper you need to focus on those areas which you feel that yes, they are more easy to be learnt by you, more easy to be understood by you. You can be selective in that. As regards the time management, let me now come to general issue, because time management was one point raised by a candidate. Daily schedule is a must. Daily schedule of your life is a must. Daily schedule is a must in the sense that every day you need to fix up your time of waking up, your time of studies. I'm sorry. Am I audible again? Because there was a telephone call which came up.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Right, thank you. So as I was saying that your daily schedule is a must. That's the first, key requirement of your time management. You cannot manage your time unless you manage your daily schedule. Then you must, start your day with light exercise, whatever you want for 10-15 minutes. Do some aerobics, maybe yoga, shavasana. Keeping your mind free from clutter. That is key to use your time very effectively, usefully, efficiently, and with maximum output. You need to divide, like right now itself, there is now no time left for dividing your days or weeks to come for different parts of your syllabus. What you have to decide is that okay, for this next 1 week, I am going to write answers on Indian culture and heritage from GS1. I am going to write, let us say, answers on disaster management and internal security for this 1 week. So you decide those topics for which you are going to do writing practice for week 1, week 2, week 3, like that. Now, every day should be broken down into different activities. Maybe your target is to study 9 hours a day. 9 hours a day, okay, 3 hours I will keep for revision of basic concepts, brushing up of facts, and other theoretical aspects. of, let us say, Indian economy or world geography. Then 3 hours I will devote only to writing answers. 3 hours I will devote, or maybe not 3 hours, less than that, 2 hours or 1 hour I will devote to reading the answers, model answers which are there, because that has a very good impact and it is very useful to do that. Answers which are already available on UPSC website also, of previous years toppers and all that. You will come to know that yes, what kind of answer writing skills which they have. There is no harm in doing that. So divide your time in these activities and faithfully follow them. And most importantly, after every week, you look back and see, you sort of conduct your own evaluation that in the past 1 week, whatever you had decided, how far you have been able to achieve that and in what manner and with what success rate. So these are some of the issues related to time management which come to my mind. Of course, it goes without saying that there is absolutely no place for social media in your life right now, except for what is directly related to your preparation. Right? No longish telephonic conversations. Studying and exchanging ideas with your peer group is very good. I always suggest that. I did that. 40 years back, I did that when I was writing the civil services means. There was a group of 3-4 friends we did not have joint study as such. But yes, we met, maybe we interacted once a day or once in 2 days and exchanged notes and ideas, because that helped all of us to enrich ourselves. But having longish conversations on telephone or in person, that is a strict no-no. Goes without saying that physical health is very important. Eat right very regularly and minimum 6 hours sleep. Minimum 6 hours. Maybe 7 hours, depends on your own habits. As I said, peer group discussion is very important and you can do it on a daily basis, maybe half an hour, 45 minutes every day. Of course, it cuts both ways. इसके फायदे भी हैं, नुकसान भी हैं. So you have to be very, very careful. So just to sum up what I said earlier, that keep in mind that UPSC places premium upon those qualities which they ultimately expect to be within yourself, and mains examination is a way of testing those. By way of testing how brief you can be, how well presenting you can be, how well you present yourself, your ideas, how analytical you are, how holistic you are in judging a given problem, how comprehensively you can list out various issues involved, and finally, what is your capability of evaluating, comparing and contrasting different kinds of options and outcomes which are there and reaching the best outcome with good reasons, firm reasons to support them. So that is all I have to say. Somebody just now sent a message that please share your experience of working. I don't think that is really relevant. But yes, I worked in the Indian Police Service for 36 years. But that is not of much significance to you right now. You, apart from that, any other questions, any other queries, if any candidate has got, you are most welcome to share with me. And before I close, one more thing. I think Dr. Vikram may have mentioned it. I am open to getting flooded by your answers, your essays, answers of GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4, and essays, of course. Do not hesitate in sending to me on email your answers directly. My email is there on the YTF website, or it can be shared by Dr. Vikram. I will do my best to spare time and evaluate and comment on your performance if you think that could be of some use to you. Next session I think I'll be taking tomorrow those candidates who are interested, they can join for GS4 ethics. Because last year also I covered the basic concepts of ethics paper in 3 sessions. This time also I will be doing that in maybe 3 sessions, followed by 1 of internal security. So that will be my plan for the next couple of weeks. And that is finally all from my side. And before we close, I throw the floor open for the candidates to react if they wish. Any of you. Yes, thank you, Ganesh. Thanks to you too. Anybody else? Anyone else, please? Okay, all right, Dr. Vikram, are you there?
Hi, yes, sir.
So I think we can conclude this session here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you so much and wish all of you the very best. Please keep on your preparations. Be in the right spirits, fine spirits, and I'm sure that success awaits you. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.